This book is made to be the starting guide to your journey into Wicca and witchcraft. It dives into the core principles, rituals, and practical tools to get you started on your Wiccan path. Let's take a look at how Harmony Nice presents this information and whether Wicca as a practice could be for you, or if it draws too many similarities to other religions for you to be comfortable with. I know that many witches struggle with religious trauma, and we don't need to replace one toxic religion with another. Hi, I'm Ruby, and I am here to help you make better purchasing decisions through my deck reviews and tarot chats. Today, I'm doing my first book review. Let me know if you'd like to see more book reviews. I'm definitely in my reading era right now, so I could make it happen. Wicca, a modern guide to witchcraft and magic, is written by Harmony Nice, who is a content creator here on YouTube, even though a while ago she stopped making content. And the book is about what the title says exactly. It is about Wicca, and it shows you how to be Wiccan in this modern world. It doesn't just talk about Wicca as a religion though, it also talks about the practice of witchcraft and magic. The book is definitely written for people who are new to Wicca and witchcraft because there is a lot of basic information in this book. So let's talk about the contents of the book. Like I said, a lot of basic information into Wicca and witchcraft. So if you don't know anything about witchcraft or about Wicca, then this would be a really good place to start. It is a very practical handbook to Wicca and witchcraft because it also contains some exercises, a lot of information on resources and tools that you can use in the practice, including in the last part of the book. There are a lot of like resource pages where you can see all the crystals and their properties, herbs and their properties, colors and their like color magic properties or correspondences, as well as a whole chapter on Sabbaths. So for the upcoming solstice, that is Litha, midsummer, she has a lot of information. It says when Litha is in the northern hemisphere and then the southern hemisphere, what you sort of celebrate and how you can celebrate it, which I think is really, really fun. It shows you all these different activities, altar ideas, food and drink ideas, all for every single Sabbath. Also crystals, herbs, and incense that you can use in your craft when you're working around that certain Sabbath. So that might be one of my favorite parts in the book. Like I said, especially the last part of this book has a lot of reference information, like the Sabbaths. She writes about all of the full moons. So the full moon in June is called the Lover's Moon, also known as the Diet Moon, the Strawberry Moon, and the Strong Sun Moon. And then it talks about what kind of energy this specific full moon it has, and it does that for every single full moon of the year. Now for the more Wiccan part of it, she does talk about different deities that you could worship, that you could work with, and she writes a whole list on Greek deities, Roman deities, Egyptian deities, Celtic deities, and Norse deities. Oh, also Slavic, Japanese, and African. So there's a lot of information here on like deities to worship, but it doesn't give any backstories to these deities. It's basically just a list. She even has some information on sun astrology signs, but it's very, very brief. So I feel like this is something that shouldn't necessarily have been put into the book. So what I liked about Wicca is Harmony's approach to Wicca and witchcraft. She is all about kindness, all about tolerance and acceptance of the world and the people around us. And that is definitely something that not only I need to focus on more, but that I want to focus on more within my practice. And that is something that just really, really resonated with me. She is all about going at it your own way, that you don't need all the tools to get started, even though she does give you the information on the tools that you can get or that you can use in your Wiccan or witchcraft practice. Another thing that I really liked is that it really focuses on Wicca in the now, in the modern world. So the last couple of chapters talk about how you can practice witchcraft right now, as well as if you need to do it like she calls it Wicca on the sly, so like witchcraft or Wicca when you're trying to do it a little bit secretive, if you feel like other people don't accept your faith, which she also has an entire chapter on. also how you can really like implement small changes into your life to start up your Wicca or witchcraft practice. So it's very, very practical. Also, if you live in a small space or if you live in the city, and even a chapter on how to find a coven if that is something that you're interested in. So it really goes into Wicca and witchcraft in the now in a very practical way. So she really gives you exercises. I loved like the exercises that she had for meditation. She has a couple of visualization exercises, and I just really like that. While I was reading this, I got so excited about starting up my witchcraft practice. I talked about this in my podcast episode. But this book really got me inspired on what kind of way I want to go. However, there are also some things that I didn't really like. And that is sort of the idea of having like all the information in this book, but it's very surface level. And I feel like a lot of beginner witchcraft books do this, that they have a lot of topics that they have like a little bit of information about in this book. So if, for instance, you are interested in astrology, you have the very, very, very basics in this book, and you're definitely gonna need to get another resource if you want to learn more about astrology. And the same goes for the deities. Like on one hand, I like that it's all in one place, and if there's something that you like, that you're interested in, then this is like your starting information, and from here you can go to another resource. So on one hand, I like it, but it's almost like, why did she have an entire chapter on astrology when there's like this much information for every star sign? She also has an entire chapter that is 3 pages long, where there are 2 big images on the witch's alphabet, which one is like the witch's alphabet, I guess, and the other one is the runes. Might as well have not been in the book because it doesn't really add anything of value. Like, I get that she did it because a lot of beginner witchcraft books do it, but it's just something that I personally don't appreciate or don't like. My main takeaway from the book is that it can be so easy to just get started. You don't need any tools, you don't need anything, you can build it over time. If you get, I don't know, a bonus and you want to get some tools, then you can look in this book as to what tools you could potentially get. If there is a Sabbath, then you could look it up and use the information about the Sabbath to decorate your altar, to get some activity ideas. Like I said, the Sabbath part in this book is definitely my favorite, I think. But even to just get to know Wicca as a religion, with what the difference is between Wicca, witchcraft, and paganism. She talks about the threefold law, the morals, and the Wiccan rite, if that is something that you're interested in, the different Wiccan paths that you can take. So it's a very beginner starting guide. And I do think that this is gonna be a book that I'm gonna reference often, not just because she does have the reference pages sort of in the back in the last part of the book, and also because of all the information on the Sabbaths that she has in here, but also some of the exercises like the meditation or the visualization exercises. Now, to touch on the part of religion, because Wicca is a religion, I feel like Harmony Nice did a really good job of not making Wicca feel like a traditional religion as we know them, that could potentially be restrictive, or that some of us witches could have religious trauma from. And that is something that I really appreciate about not only Harmony Nice as an author, as a creator here, but also about the Wiccan religion. So I'm not saying that I am gonna call myself a Wiccan from now on, but it's definitely something that I'm considering. Not just because of this book. I bought this book because I was already interested in Wicca, but this definitely has invited and inspired me to start my witchcraft practice and to try and see what Wiccan practices I want to implement in my witchcraft practice, if at all. So yeah, if you want to check it out for yourself, click the link down below. That is an affiliate link. And if you enjoyed the review of Wicca by Harmony Nice, then you'll also enjoy this podcast episode that I did on starting my witchcraft journey. Click the video on the screen right now to watch that. Subscribe for more tarot and witchcraft videos, as well as noises from my new puppy. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!